Good afternoon, everybody. It's an absolute pleasure to be part of this panel and talking to, this group on a subject which is of interest to almost everybody nowadays, not just this industry, but almost everybody who is concerned about environment and what's happening to the carbon footprint that we leave behind as an industry. I'm going to share a presentation, so let me know when my screen is visible. So I hope my screen is visible. It will be nice to know from somebody whether you are able to see the presentation.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk about the challenges and opportunities in biomass usage. As was said in the introduction, I am one of the co-founders of a company called BiofuelCircle, and we have set up an electronic marketplace for biomass in India. Why is it that we went about setting up an electronic marketplace? And answer to it is, the wastage of biomass that one sees in the country is primarily on account of structural constraints. And these bottlenecks which arise on account of structural constraints is what we wanted to solve. What are the bottlenecks that we saw? We saw four very specific bottlenecks. One is that we have fragmented rural resources. All of us know about it. Second, and extremely important, is that the suppliers who are farmers have very low incentives in the current structure to actually participate in this supply chain. Added to that is the seasonality. The biomass is available for only a few months every year. And last but not the least, both sides of the supply chain, the supplier side and the customer side, have limited access to each other. So what happens because of that is that the small spread out farms make aggregation very difficult. Low incentives makes the farmer shy away from participating. Seasonality indirectly leads to high cost of storage, and access essentially does not allow rural suppliers to have a direct access to industrial buyers. And I think, going a layer further, what one would observe is maybe the way to solve a problem which is combination of all of this, and to accelerate the adoption of biomass as a fuel alternative, may require a solution which is combination of several things. And when we started working on that, we looked at how does one create a direct participation model. If we say access is difficult, is it possible for us to allow an access to anybody who thinks they can supply biomass and anybody who thinks they want to buy biomass? How do we help create decentralized rural businesses around biomass? And how do we make sure that there is reliability and assurance built in the ecosystem? Because in the end, if you are going to get industrial feedstock or industrial fuel supplied from a relatively unorganized rural supply chain, how do you build in assurance and how do you build in reliability? So we looked at several solutions. First and foremost, we built an online marketplace. Like I said, BiofuelCircle has built an online marketplace, which could, create multiple local markets across India. Biomass is not only seasonal, but biomass is clustered. Biomass is difficult to travel. So how do you make sure that there are local markets which are created, just like Uber creates a local market or Zomato creates a local market? Can we create a local market for biomass? And Biofuel Circle as a platform ended up doing exactly that. How do we motivate decentralized rural businesses through structure of farmer producer companies or farmer producer organizations to look at creating biomass specific businesses, biomass aggregation, biomass storage, biomass briquetting, pelleting, baling as a regular year-round business activity which generates employment and which creates economic activity in the rural areas is the second thing that we looked at. And the last but not the least, we looked at creating a reliability ecosystem which has systems and processes. Look, as industries who set up refineries, who set up manufacturing units, We are all, we are all familiar with the ISO 9000s of the world and systems and processes which assures reliability and quality. How can these small rural businesses have access to processes which will guarantee quality? And that's the third thing that we started working on. Now, this is not technology in its pure sense, but this is adoption of technology, adoption of tools to deliver for the technology. And what we essentially ended up looking at is, let's start looking at a biomass consumer, a major biomass consumer, and can we, in a 150 to 200-kilometer radius, create a presence, which is of high intensity biomass development, biomass growing areas? Can we have a bunch of FPO aggregators? Can we have a bunch of FPO storages, a bunch of FPO processors, and a bunch of FPO laboratories? And can we create this ecosystem which has access to a, a technology platform? And what does the technology platform do? And I'm going to briefly tell you what does this technology platform do. Once again, for those of us who come from organized sector, ability to discover who can be my buyer and seller, ability to structure a deal and get into a transaction with somebody, ability to schedule deliveries, ability to actually organize transportation and get delivery done, ability to raise an invoice, and ability to pay and receive. If all of this can be done in a digital environment, a little bit like if I want to order lunch right now, the easiest thing for me to do would be to open my Zomato or Swiggy app, and I look at what are the choices around me, who delivers me fast, what is up to my appetite. I select it, I place an order, I start receiving information on how long does it take for my lunch to arrive. Once the lunch is arrived, I have an option either to pay to the person who's delivering to me, or I have probably already prepaid for the lunch. I get a bill, my payment is received by whoever is my service provider. Now, can we make procurement of biomass as easy as this? A few clicks and can this happen? We actually created a platform which does exactly that. So what does this platform allow us to do is, it allows you, if you are in the business of buying and selling biomass, it allows you to connect with each other, to promote your business, a little bit like what you do on LinkedIn. Most of us have LinkedIn profiles. We promote ourselves, we promote our companies. You look at the ratings and evaluation of other companies. Look, behavior of a particular company, a particular individual on the platform always leaves data footprints on the platform. So, for example, does this company deliver in time? Does this company deliver as per the quality recommendations? Does this company pay in time? Does this company keep on changing the schedule every now and then, based on which a supplier rating and a customer rating is algorithmically calculated? A little bit like what Uber driver rating or Uber customer rating is, but there the driver and the customer give rating to each other. Here the rating is algorithmically driven by your behavior on the platform. You're able to then enter into a marketplace. You're able to get into, entering a marketplace is a little bit like entering a mall. Look at who is selling, who is buying, at what price is a certain commodity being sold. Do I want to actually buy from what is on the offer? Or if I am a large organization and I want to conduct e-procurement using platforms such as auctions, floating an RFP based tender, etc. Once again, those tools are available. So, depending upon organization, depending upon who you are, the platform provides a way to buy and sell things. Once you have the deal, you are able to look at what your storages are. How do these deals impact your storages? You can plan transportation, you can schedule deliveries, based on which the platform has a network of transporters which delivers to you the material as per your scheduled delivery. Exactly like you ordered, your masala dosa on Zomato. It gets delivered when you want it, and as per the payment terms that you desire. Once it is delivered, or even before it is delivered, the assurance service comes into play. You can trace and track your deliveries. You can look at who's supplying, what is his quality record. You can look at quality certifications. You can look at test reports, associated with what is being supplied to you. All this data is digitally available and accessible. Once the delivery is started, your invoices, all the papers which are going to come to you, these are digitally accessible to you. So all paperwork is available to you in a digital inbox. You can pay online using Razor Pay, and you can complete the transaction. And to top it all, what you also have actually is a trade finance ability. So if I'm a seller and I'm going to get paid from the buyer, 15 days from the date of supply or 30 days from the date of supply, there are trade finance service provider like banks and NBFCs on the platform who could be doing invoice financing to you, or who could be doing inventory financing or trade financing to you. So all of this contained in one box is the technology that we have deployed. What we see is now close to 150 subscribers on the platform, transacting more than 3,000 metric tons of biomass every month. On an average, we see 2 to 3 transactions every day. Currently, the activities are in Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, and Gujarat, but we have a plan to expand and cover rest of the country, as early as possible, and make sure that this technology that we have developed provides the necessary acceleration for adoption of biomass as a fuel. And last but not the least, the impact that a technology like this is able to create is it can create awareness and visibility for the biomass trade. More and more people can become aware of what's possible and what exactly are you supposed to do if you want to use biomass. Not just about what are theoretical possibilities, but actual business opportunities. A rural infrastructure, we've been able to promote a rural infrastructure based on farmer producer companies, which is creating an ecosystem for small entrepreneurship in rural areas. This has clearly become a digital platform for biomass quality. How do I link a commodity to quality? How do I keep on looking at the quality records associated with a particular commodity? Have an access to a huge data bank associated with quality. Take decisions which are driven by quality. Once again, that's possible on the platform. A phenomenal possibility around analytics. We already have price curves for various commodities. We do have an ability to guide buyers and sellers on decisions that they should be taking based on analytics, which is available on the platform. And last but not the least, in this relatively unorganized space of rural businesses supplying to industrial businesses, we've been able to introduce a dimension of assurance and delivery service, which is possible primarily on account of the fact that digitalization allows us a technological reach. And so to start this session, what I wanted to share with all participants is that if digital technology is used around the nature, which is biomass available with us, we have an opportunity to create local jobs. We have an opportunity to, of course, give a big boost to rural economy, help scale the green energy, and last but not the least, help our country in its desire to create a strong energy security. So that's the Biofuel Circle platform for you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for the opportunity made available to me. And I look forward to other panelists on the platform sharing their thoughts. And if at all if there are any questions, would be happy to answer them. Thank you very much.